Set. Set.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a great and thankful Thanksgiving. At this time, I'd like to welcome the members of council, staff, members of the public to our October 14th council meeting and call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask Mrs. Pearson for the roll call, please.
Thank you. Councillor Clark.
Present.
Councillor Hyatt.
Present.
Councillor O'Hara.
Present.
Councillor Patel. Present. Councillor Welsh. Present. Deputy Mayor Field.
Present.
Mayor Loosely.
Present.
And that is quorum, Your Worship.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask Mrs. Pearson for the Indigenous land acknowledgement, please.
We acknowledge that this land on which we are gathered today is part of the ancestral land of the Chippewa, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples, referred to collectively as the Anishinaabe. The town of Petrolia is located on the land associated with the Huron Tract Treaty number 29 of 1827. We express gratitude for the land where we live, work, and play, and we are committed to working respectfully with the land and the Indigenous peoples who have called this land home.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to request council declare a conflict of interest now or at the appropriate time and complete the necessary paperwork for the clerk. Seeing none, we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the council of the town of Petrolia to adopt as presented the agenda of the October 14th, 2025 regular session of council.
Thank you. Any discussion, errors or omissions, or any questions? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? That's carried. We'll go on to the minutes. I'll need a mover and a seconder to accept the regular session on the September 22nd council meeting. Moved by Councillor Patel, seconded by Councillor O'Hara. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
That is for the council of the town of Petrolia to adopt as circulated minutes of the regular meeting of council held on September 22nd, 2025.
Thank you. Any questions? I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving those minutes? That motion carries. That'll take us on now to the public information session regarding the 2026 water and sewer rates held on September 22nd. I'll ask for a mover and a second to put that motion on the floor. Moved by Councillor Hyatt, seconded by Councillor Welsh. And I'll ask the clerk to read that motion.
And that is for the council of the town of Petrolia to receive and file as information notes of the September 22nd, 2025 public information session held regarding the 2026 water and sewer rates.
Any questions from council? Any errors or omissions? Okay, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving those minutes? That motion carries. Thank you. That'll move us on to the moment of silence, reflection. I'll ask you to please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. That'll take us now to council roundtable announcements. And tonight we start with Councillor Hyatt, please.
I have nothing to share. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Patel.
Nothing to share at this time. Thank you.
Nothing to share. Councillor O'Hara.
Just one thing, I'd like to remind everybody about our fundraiser that's coming up for the elevator in this building. I believe it's a week from Friday, and there's an afternoon show and an evening show. And it'd be great to see everybody out there because we need as much funds as we can get.
That's right. Thank you, Councillor O'Hara. Councillor Welsh.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Councillor Clark.
I have nothing to share either. Thanks.
Okay, that'll take us now to Deputy Mayor Field.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Wow. I just happen to have a few items. Mr. Rick Charlebois, CAO Treasurer, Mrs. Larissa Ellsworth, Director of Marketing, Arts and Communication, and I met with MPP Bob Bailey and his staff on Wednesday, September 24th for our annual meeting to discuss items of interest with the town of Petrolia. It was a very good meeting and copies of the issues discussed were given to MPP Bob Bailey to take with him. I attended the grand opening of Creative Junction at 4206 Petrolia Line on Saturday, September 27th. It was a great event with a good turnout. Special thanks to Mrs. Denise Tebow, Downtown Business Liaison, and Mrs. Ellsworth, Director of Marketing, Arts, and Communication, for arranging this event. I also attended the regular county council meeting held on Wednesday, October 1st, and will continue to keep council informed. I also took part in the surprise retirement and presented a certificate on behalf of the town to Leisure Lane, Mr. B's, C-Tech and Company, and C-Tech Tailor Shop on October 2nd. Special thanks to the staff and volunteers that decorated the stores and arranged for the surprise party. Mrs. Mandy Pearson, Director of Legislative Services, Deputy Operations Clerk, and Tara Wagner, Marketing and Special Events Associate, were also present. It was a great event and a good time had by all. I also attended the open house for Tourism Sarnia-Lambton at their location at 1455 Venetian Boulevard in Point Edward on Wednesday, October 8th. It was all set up in a professional manner, and they continue to look for volunteers. I met with Mr. Leland Martin, the town's representative on the Lambton Senior Advisory Committee on Friday, October 10th, and will keep council informed of any further details, and there will be some information coming at a later date. I attended the surprise unveiling at Mr. Glenn and Joan Lapointe's address, 148 Tank Street, on Saturday, October 11th. It was the Flintstones family in the car, all carved from wood by Mr. Will Epps. That is also enclosed and will be left on the property for the public to see. Refreshments were available after the unveiling for everyone's enjoyment. Deputy Mayor Field and Councillor Chad Hyatt were also in attendance. And I do want to mention, we had no idea what it was. I was a little surprised to see the Flintstones. I kind of expected something with the town. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, take a drive out and have a look. It's really quite impressive. That'll take us on now to the correspondence. We have items A to H. I'll ask for a motion to have them received and filed, or if anyone wishes to pull any out. Councillor Welsh.
Receive and file except for C, which I would like to comment on.
Okay. So I'll ask for a move and a seconder, A to H, except for C. Moved by Councillor Patel, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive and file correspondence items 10A through H, excluding C.
Any discussion? All those in favor? That motion carries. Councillor Welsh, regarding C, go ahead.
So item C, we've received correspondence from a number of municipalities about this particular legislation with the Resource Recovery and Circular Economy Act. A lot of them with significant concerns, and it was already a complex piece of legislation. And now there have been amendments, and I would like to request a detailed report to council at some point in the near future on how this is going to affect the town of Petrolia now with our current contract and in the future.
So you're looking at a motion to refer this to administration for a report back. You would like to move that?
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll need a seconder. Is there a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Clark. So the motion basically is that item number C be referred to administration for a report back to council. Is that clear? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. I do want to mention before we move on to it regarding that H, I'm sure you read it about the OPP putting 11% cap. So the worst we'll get is 11%, which you can probably expect. All right, we'll move on. As far as correspondence, there's none at this time. Delegations and presentations, I don't have any listed tonight. That'll take us to the community announcements, recognitions, and awards. I'll ask for a mover and a seconder to put that motion on the floor for discussion. Moved by Deputy Mayor Field, seconded by Councillor Clark. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the Council of the Town of Petrolia to receive as information only the October 14, 2025 community announcements as presented.
And as usual, Mrs. Ellsworth, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing at this time, Your Worship. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to mention, I didn't know anything about the name ABBA, but when I went to the show, I knew all the music, and I'm telling you, if you didn't, you missed a great show. But I knew all the songs, but I just didn't relate it to ABBA. So that was a great show. Please pass it on. Thank you.
I will, thank you.
Okay. Read that.
We did.
Okay, I'll call the vote. Is there anything else from council? All those in favor of approving the community events? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll take us to the first opportunity for the public to address council. Is there anyone willing to address council? I see that. All right, let's go on to 15, administration. We have a report from Mrs. Mandy Pearson, Director of Legislative Services, Clerk and Deputy Operations, regarding the 2026 municipal election electronic voting provider RFP results. I'll ask for a move and a second to put that motion on the floor. Moved by Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Hyatt. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the council of the town of Petrolia to adopt the report of the director, Mandy Pearson, dated October 14th, 2025, regarding 2026 municipal election electronic voting provider RFP results, and that Simply Voting be awarded the contract in the amount of $23,718.62, including HST, and that the Director of Legislative Services clerk be authorized into entering into an agreement with Simply Voting Incorporated.
Any questions from council? Mrs. Pearson, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Aside from, it was curious that the providers aren't making it past some of the technical stuff, but it was great to see that this particular provider has such a strong backing on their strength in not only previous municipal elections, but going forward in some by-elections and also a major election in Halifax. So that really checked out.
Good. And it's nice that you can work together with the other municipalities too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. And I also just want to mention too, I like the idea of where, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the week before, anyone can come in here for help
Absolutely.
if they need
Yeah.
help voting with the computer, because there's no paper copies.
Correct.
Thank you. All right. Any questions from council? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. And we have a report from Mr. Trevor Benjamins, Senior Planner, regarding the reinstatement of draft plan of subdivision approval. You have a motion before you. I'll ask for a move and a second to put that on the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
And that is for the report prepared by Trevor Benjamin, Senior Planner, dated October 14th, 2025, regarding draft plan of subdivision known as 38T 2003 Spectra Construction Petrolia Incorporated, be received and endorsed by council, and that staff be directed to advise the County of Lambton that the town of Petrolia has no objections to granting the reinstatement of this draft plan approval.
Thank you. And before I call the vote, Mr. Benjamins, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing at this time, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. That'll bring us to the second opportunity for the public to address council. All right, we'll move on to other business items under the strong mayor's powers. I have none at this time. That'll take us to the bylaws. We have, I'll ask for a motion to have the bylaws read a first and second time. Moved by Councillor Patel, seconded by Councillor Clark. There's no, we'll read only the third one. All those in favor of having those bylaws read a first and second time? Opposed? That motion carries. And I'll ask for a motion to have the bylaws read a third time. Finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered. Moved by Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Clark. And I'll ask the clerk to read those bylaws, please.
And that is for bylaw number 31 of 2025, being a bylaw to authorize the reconveyance of the title of certain lands described as Plan 14, Part Lots 31 and 33 of Registered Plan 25R 10378, Parts 3 and 4, Eureka Street, Town of Petrolia, County of Lambton, be read a third time and finally passed. And that bylaw number 32 of 2025, being a bylaw of the Corporation of the Town of Petrolia to confirm the resolutions and motions of the Council of the Town of Petrolia, which were adopted up to and including October 14th, 2025, be read a third time and finally passed.
Thank you, Ms. Pearson. And just so everyone is clear, and correct me if I'm wrong, as far as the property regarding Eureka Street, those legal costs will be paid by the individual. Is that correct, Mrs. Pearson?
Correct, Your Worship.
So we will not have to pay those legal fees. All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving the bylaws a third time? Opposed? That motion carries. And a motion to adjourn would be in order. Moved by Councillor Patel, seconded by Deputy Mayor Field. I'll ask the clerk to read that motion, please.
That is for the October 14th, 2025 meeting of the Council of the Town of Petrolia to be adjourned to the next regular scheduled meeting of council to be held on Monday, October 27th, 2025, or to the call of the chair.
And there's no discussion other than the time. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. And I do want to mention, in the 7 years I've been mayor, this is the shortest council meeting we've ever had, that I've ever had. So thank you for coming, everyone.